Hello and welcome to the Car Care channel, and welcome to this beautiful 100 Series Land Cruiser, which we looked at in a shorts video a long time ago. This owner of this car thought they had a transmission problem. They had a clunk every time they engaged, drive, reverse, pretty loud clunk. And we diagnosed it in that video as such. Look at this axle. I'll move it from here so you guys can see it. That's not good. Yes. The axles, they're aftermarket. Believe it or not, it took this long for the owner to decide if they want to fix it or not, because it was not something that was going to break. But they decided to do it until we got them an appointment, got all the parts, whatnot. Car's actually here. We're going to fix it. So in today's video, we're going to take the axles, replace them with brand new OEM ones, which they look beautiful. Let's get to work. So here is the plan. Someone just did brakes, bearings, axle shortly before the customer bought the car. They use aftermarket axles. In case you haven't seen the shorts, I want you to look at this. I'm going to turn the wheel. Now this is spline to the axle because that's what actually drives the front wheels. Watch when I turn this. See how the axle is not even turning? That's how much play there is between, you hear that noise? That's what, every time you engage it in drive, clunk, 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 both sides. So we checked these bearings at the time. They were actually good. They did that part right. Brakes are aftermarket, but they're pretty healthy. And I'm actually noticing this is something new. This boot is torn on this ball joint. Of course, we don't have this because we didn't anticipate this. We were just literally starting the job. I'm going to see if we can get just the boot, because this ball joint is solid. I didn't see any issues with it. We're not going to replace the whole ball joint just for that. We can grease it, put a new cap on it, but we'll do that at a later time. But for now, we got to do the axle. And here's what needs to happen in a 100 series to get the axle out. We need to pull the knuckle in its entirety. I'm not going to disassemble the bearings. Just going to get the brakes to the side, disengage the axle from the flange, which we are replacing this flange. We'll talk about it. You see the whole thing. Then we'll pull the axle, put a seal, put everything back together. We are not doing anything with the bearings because they're tight, they're adjusted. I don't think we have an issue. Once we get the axle out, I'll give them a spin, make sure they're fine. But unless when we take this flange, we see things we don't like, then we may end up just packing the bearings at least. Let's get to work. So let's start with taking this cap off and see what we see. 100 series is very different than the 80 series. They're a lot more mechanic friendly and just more reliable actually in the front than the 80 series. Hence why it's a newer generation improvement. Okay, this grease is yeah, that's not looking good. I'm just gonna be flat honest, that looks terrible. Feeling the snap rung pliers too big. Oh, maybe not. Cool. Not too big. Okay, so our principal problem, and let's see it now in kind of 3D. Do you see this axle? This axle splines into this flange, which is attached to the hub. Look at that. Look at that amount of movement here. Two things would cause that. These flanges do wear out over time, but what is more likely here is this axle is not the right size. I mean, look at this. These teeth are literally skipping over. Do you see how they're skipping over, like right here? That is unbelievable. So we're gonna do a little experiment, just real quick to see where we're at. I'm gonna take this flange off. We're gonna see if we can save the customer some money. Let's get these conical washers out. Not when I come out. That is not gonna happen. There it is. There goes this one. See how they pop out? Yeah, there goes this one. You can do it. No, this one is not going. Fight with that in a bit. Whoop, this one popped out. Let's see. This one popped out. And this one popped out. So we only have one stubborn one. Let's see. There it is. That flange is loose now. This is very similar to basically all Toyota trucks with this style hub. Even the 80 series has the exact same thing. And the same thing that the flange wears out. So okay. Well, it's hard to see, but that's the obvious wear. This axle. Well, one way to find out, and I am looking at this. I see fresh grease, so they just didn't get rid of the grease on the cap, so that's good. This is a new flange. Let's just set it in here and see what happens. See that? That's the problem. It's definitely better. I still have that clunkiness. That's the problem. Old one, a little bit more, because definitely the flange is more worn, but the problem is the axle. It does move more. I still have that clunk. Yeah, I still have that. And when you put it like this, that's the problem. Because if we go at our beautiful new axle here, let's see, is this the right end? Yes, it is. It's a beautiful original axle. I'm gonna get the nose of it off. That's very little, I mean, yeah, that's the problem. Now, the $1,000,000 question is, did the flange being loose warrant this cheapo aftermarket axle, or is it just the wrong size? Well, that's a question we'll leave to the comments. For now, you gotta fix the car. So this axle will basically pop out. All we have to do is pull the whole thing. I'm thinking, I'm just looking at this. I don't know if I trust whoever did the aftermarket stuff. Debate. Well, we'll be able to see it. Let's pull the caliper, hang it to the side. We'll start getting our knuckle ready to come out, and then we'll just do this. Let's disconnect. This car has no rust. That's the best part about it, you know. I don't care what other problems it has. All can be fixed, but if it's all a rotten mess, it's all worthless. But this is pretty good shape. Let's see if that statement I just said will hold true. If we can get, and I'm all for miracles. If this speed sensor wants to come out, that comes out, that's miracle number one. Bolt will usually come right out. But is the sensor going to come out? If it does, that's pretty cool. If not, well, yeah, it's not going to happen. And then you wanna, let's give it a tiny nudge. Just a tiny nudge. No, that's not going anywhere. So we go with plan W. It is just like I expected. We're gonna actually pull the wire from the top, disconnect it, which I don't think I can reach it here. No, I'll reach it underneath. By the way, the valve cover is also leaking on this car, pretty bad. That's another thing, we'll fix it, but that we'll do another day. Right now I just want the clunkiness to stop. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the wire harness for a second. Let me just actually disconnect it here. And here. And then we'll go disconnect at the top in a bit. But for now, let me get this off, tie rod. Much better. Wondering if we even have to do that. Yeah, I don't want to deal with the other one. Let's just pop it here. And I don't think my tool will fit. Oh, maybe. Very, very maybe. I'm thinking yay. Maybe. Just maybe. Whoa, that worked. Quite a racket's working. Oh, it's stuck. Ah, that actually worked. Cool. So, next thing is this ball joint, which is, yeah, that's going to give us a hard time. And then this one. Let me get the cotter pins off, get things ready. Yeah, I wish we had this boot. We replaced it right now, but I'll order it. That's not hard to remove. Okay, let's leave it like this. Is my fancy tool gonna fit there? Oh yeah, it will fit there. But I think I have to take this nut off. Yeah, I don't like how this sits here. We'll see. And that's why you gotta be careful with this. That's why I would have loved to leave the nuts there. Well, we have this. Ooh. Oh, this is not gonna be salvageable, folks. This has a little bit of play. Too bad. Well, this ball joint is gonna need to be replaced. So I bungeed this for now. I tried to connect to the top, and it's not gonna work. We don't need to. Let me take this caliper off. A little upset about this ball joint because we knew this. We've gotten something. We got it done at the same time, but again, it's not the end of the world. Unfortunately, it's going to be an additional cost to the customer. We'll talk to him about it. Let him know. I want to check the lower one as well. I'm surprised this car doesn't even have a lot of miles. So when I say it doesn't have a lot of miles, I think it has over 200,000. So that's not a lot of miles for a non-rusty 100 series. It's out of our way. So all we got to do now is disconnect the speed sensor, ball joint, and the whole knuckle comes out. Let me lower the car. We'll get that speed sensor disconnected. Oh, this hood stays up. That's good. Now, this is the part when you're short and you work on cars, it's, can't reach anything. Well, where is my sensor? It is... I don't even see it. Let me get something to stand on. I can't even see anything. So if you're short like me, and you work on cars that are big and tall, we discovered this. This I think is from Home Depot. It works great. It really makes life easier when you're working on tall trucks. Better than any platform. We tried everything. This is the best thing because then all of a sudden you become tall. Let's see, here it is. So there is one. This one, I got a 10. Move this 10 here. Okay, that speed sensor is free. Let's raise the car up. Let's pop this bottom ball joint. You gotta be very careful because this thing will just drop if we're not careful. Try to do that in case. Get some high speed sensor wire out of the way. Let's get this cotter pin out. There we go. Let's play this game again. Are you a 22? No, you're not. Probably a 24. Are you a 24? Yes, you are. And you just loosen it just a little bit. Just to use my tool. Hopefully it doesn't go flying this time. I don't exactly like how it's sitting, but give it a whirl. There it goes. So now, the only thing that is holding us is this. Just let me loosen it just a little bit. Okay. Lower the car, we'll get everything going. Okay. This is where this will get very, very interesting. There it is. Make sure speed sensor wire doesn't get damaged. You have to let the bungee cord go. Actually, I'll keep it for good measure. I think I will keep it for good measure. This wants to drop on me. It's very, very dangerous because this thing is extremely heavy, especially with the rotor on it. So here goes nothing. Yeah, I can't pull the axle completely out. There it is. All right, we got it. So let's lift it up. So it's good stuff. Let's lift it up, drain the diff, pop the axle, place the seal, put the new axle in. How about that? Okay. So drain and fill. All that oil is the valve cover leaking all over the place. This car has a few other issues. We're just starting with the first ones. It's a rear main, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the rear main may be leaking. See it right here, it's all wet. We want to start with the valve cover first because I do see some of that oil. Actually, it's more than likely a rear main, but we'll start with the valve cover. see what happens. Huh. Oh, this fill plug had no gasket. That works. Oh, they're just optional, I guess, for some. Fluid is not bad. Magnet has some stuff on it, it's typical. Fluid is not bad, not dirty. Here's that magnet, all kind of stuff on it. This one has a gasket. There it is. So we got a new gasket. These are crush washers. I'm gonna I actually leave this on my box. That way I'll remember. Gotta fill up the fluid. This is good. This is leaking a lot. The valve cover, we'll do that at a later time. Now I just want to get this clunk gone. Now we pop the axle. Even though we drained the fluid, feeling some more fluid will leak. Let's see if we can wrestle this axle. Oh, hello. And that was not wrestling at all. This makes me wonder, is this even the right axle? It looks like it, but there it is. The offender. Yeah, I can't tell you where this came from. All I can tell you is don't install an aftermarket axle on your 100 series Land Cruiser, or for that matter, any Toyota, unless you absolutely have to. Discontinued, you're only keeping the car for a year. Whatever the case may be, just don't do it. It's not worth it. Now that we got this far, I think we gotta tackle that seal while we're here. Let me lower the car a little bit. Let's see if we can access this seal. Actually, don't need this now. Yeah, the seal is right there. Oh. Let's see if we can pull it out. Last video we did on the 4Runner, I seem to not be able to locate this seal puller, which works really good, which now I don't think it's going to work for this. It's too long. Spoke too soon. Yeah, definitely spoke too soon. It's almost there. There it is. I got it. Gotta be careful. There it goes. It's not a terrible idea to replace seals when you do something like this. And I am looking at this. If you look at the inside bore here, do you see how pieces of the seal stayed? We gotta get rid of all that. I think somebody's been here, because I popped it from the top and I see ding marks here. That's either when they replace the axle or they replace the seal, but you never know. You always want to replace it. I'm gonna clean this bore a little bit. Some sandpaper first. Get rid of the big chunks, especially the lip. Just have some rust and Morris on it. That's much better. Look at the other side. That's much better. Now let's refine it a little bit. That's too rough of an edge. Some Scotch-Brite. I like that. I like that a lot. Now that we got here, I got the new seal installed on the tool. I'm gonna get it started. I'm gonna tap it slowly to see if it has to clear just the edge, not all the way in. I'm gonna go in with a different tool, and that different tool is nothing special, it's just an extension. That's good. I like that. I'm gonna just wipe the inner part here. All right, I think the seal is ready for an axle. Moment I've been waiting for the moment. Are these both the same part number? Yes. I have to double check. The moment we've been waiting for. This is a brand new 100 series Land Cruiser axle. I just would like you to yeah, do you see it? Let me put them on the ground because this one is extremely a lot heavier than this one, I'll tell you that much. First of all, I mean, I'm just gonna let you see it for your own. Yeah, they look nothing alike. That's the problem, folks. That's why you don't put aftermarket parts like this. Because, first, this section is completely different than this section. And this is actually, I don't know if you can see it, is different than this section. This is different than that. The entire axle is smaller here than the original one. And the shaft here is staged. You have two levels. Here is just one. And then on this end, and this is what's, I mean, physically I can see that this part is smaller than this part. And just the entire thing doesn't look the same. This part is a lot smaller than this part. Yeah, don't use aftermarket axles is what we're trying to tell you here. So, when you install an axle, show you a little tip. This little ring, always have the opening facing down. Gravity will actually work to your advantage. It'll keep rolling on you like that. So that's the easiest way to install axles. It'll pop without a big fight. Yep, it just spun. Gotta keep doing that. And this thing is a lot heavier than the other one. Make sure it engages. Once it engages, you negotiate and you lose. That's the difference in these negotiations. Here's a rubber mallet. There it is. That's not going anywhere. It's locked in. Make sure. Yes, it is. That's it. Let's put the knuckle back on. Now come the very unpleasant parts. Very unpleasant. Here we go. It's not over until it's over, which I got myself in another situation. Jose would be so kind and pass me the bungee cord. Thank you. Whew. Okay. This is not light. Just put it this way. I wish we had this. Talk to the customer about it, but we'll see what they want to do. They're going to do it as the same visit. They want to bring it back. That's the thing with cars. You never know when things will go south. You just have to go with what we have. So now, it's a matter of getting this down so we can install it. Which is not simple. Let's put it this way. So we're gonna have an honest conversation right now. Jose stopped the camera and he told me, hey, let me help you with this so we can get it in and you wouldn't strain your back. Here's the problem with old mechanics. We are stubborn. I told him, nope, I'm not gonna let this beat me when I need help. So let's see if that was a bad idea or not. As this is not fun. This particular part. See. Okay. Grip. Uh-oh. I grabbed the wrong one. This is the one I need. See what happens when mechanics stay stubborn? Something about this industry. If you're one that quickly gives up and asks for help, you will not go far in this industry. That's all I'll tell you. Gotta exhaust all your options, or the next thing is you're just gonna quit. Then you ask for help. That's one advice I'll tell you if you're doing this professionally. So let's finish getting this back together. I'm gonna get the brakes installed. Okay, now we can get this out of here. That's it. What you gotta do is get some cotter pins. They're good, and this ball joint is not in good shape. Let's just put it this way. Gonna talk to the owner, see what he wants to do. If we have to, we'll just come back here and switch it out. Memory is not working right now, but this may be the type that you can't get the ball joint separate, which means we have to replace the entire control arm. We'll find out. Here. Okay. Last but not least is this one. So the top one gets a special cotter pin. This is the only one I was able to find. This is actually a Toyota style cotter pin. It just locks as reusable. The other ones are not so special. Let's get the usual. Bottom one. Down a little bit. There we go. Now, before we put our flange back, I want to get this gasket off, which yeah, you're supposed to replace this paper gasket every time. This is giving me vibes of a mid-2000s, not a few months ago. And that is much better. There we go. And the beautiful new flange. Let's torque these to spec, which is 24. Good. Last but not least, actually two more things. Install our snap ring. fighting us. It's okay. There it is. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna clean this mess up. Oh, this way, nobody's ever cleaned this. That's and it greases like a rock. Yeah, let's put it this way. This grease, I've seen better days. And to really make it even better, put some fresh grease in here. As the name suggests of this thing, the grease cap. Now, the grease cap actually has grease that is not from 1955. And let's install the grease cap. It's good. Final wipe. Maybe with a clean rag would be nice. Or partially clean. Well, there we go. This is almost done. Just gotta put the speed sensor, but there is literally zero play. I want you to see it. So remember before how we moved this wheel a little bit, this like the hub, and the axle stays stationary? Look at this way so you see both planes. I'm gonna move it. It immediately moves. There is zero play. Listen to the other side. That's the other side. This is fixed now. All we gotta do is, let's actually put the wheel on. I'll see what we do with that. Well, this side is done. Let's put that speed sensor. We'll wrap up this video. Let's climb Mount Everest again. All right, let's see. There's this. It's connected and well, this part is done. So for you guys, it's done. For us, we gotta do it all over again on the other side. Same thing. Folks, there is an important message in this video. First, always investigate. Don't assume. If the owner of this car assumed there's a transmission problem, well, it isn't a transmission. Now, is it an expensive repair? Yes, these axles are not cheap, but it's not a big problem. That's the first thing. Second thing, what would happen if we keep driving on it like the way it was? Here's what we run a risk of. It's not a guarantee. It might never happen. Hope it never happens. But there's a potential chance of that flange and the axle kind of not shearing, but like rounding off. And now the front wheels, the axle will just spin. The car won't move anymore. That's really the downside of this. So we are not completely done with this car. I still got to do the valve cover gaskets, which are leaking a lot, especially that side. And a few odds and ends, got to fill the diff. And that's it. This is one job done. Folks, use original parts. Do repairs right. Don't cut corners with parts. That's, if you're going to, especially, this is another thing for the DIYer community, because I see this a lot. If you're going to do a job yourself, you're already saving money. But don't do what you criticize mechanics online, on forums, on Facebook groups by doing, is cutting corners. Because I see this all the time. And here's something to all of folks out there. We gotta be held accountable for things we say online, starting with everybody. There's a lot of thought and kind of considerations that go into every single video is made online. Not just me, everybody, folks. Because everything we tell you on these videos is things that you may take and use, and it's advice you will take and use. It's a big responsibility. But I'm seeing a trend lately with forums, with Facebook groups, all other kinds of groups. Somebody will post something and everybody will have answers that I sometimes scroll through them and it's like, please don't follow that advice. That's all I'll tell you. Be careful, folks. You got to remember, before you make that comment that you have no basis behind, some folks will take that advice and trust you with it. That's a big responsibility. And going back to it, if you're going to do things yourself, do them right. Use original parts. You already saved the money and the labor. Do things right. That's very important. And don't jump into conclusion. Folks will always make fun of mechanics when they do the parts canning, and I get it. That's not an excuse for mechanics. But then they'll turn around and do it themselves. Don't do that. Equip yourself with information. Learn. Diagnose things correctly. And things will go. That's, if you put the effort, you will get a reward back by fixing the car right without throwing parts at it. Folks, I hope this video is helpful and informative. I hope you learned something new. If you like it, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to the channel. Check out some of my other videos. Until the next video, folks, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and you have yourself a wonderful day.